This episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience? Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. Guy remembering Pokémon sucks! La la la!
Oh, Mr. McCritic, I love how angry everybody gets when you make fun of the Pokemon!
I know, right? I don't even know that much about it, but people just get so off whenever I mock it, I have to keep doing it! Pokémon sucks! La la Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. Knock knock, who's there? Pokémon sucks! La la la! I said Pokémon sucks! La la la! Hey Chester! Pokémon sucks!
Still?
What's the matter?
I think I'm getting tired of it. Pokemon sucks, la la la.
You can do anything. You can do Spanish. Pokémon apesta!
No, Critic buddy, I have to tell you something. That joke is played.
Wait a minute. Are you indicating that I, the Nostalgia Critic...
You're gonna do the running joke about always doing running jokes, aren't you?
Oh my god, this is played.
It's time to move on, Critic.
But they get so angry.
It's time to move on.
It really made me laugh.
It's time to move on.
La la la.
You know what to do.
Okay, fine! Despite me making a ton of jokes at its expense, I never really saw that much Pokemon. Unlike Power Rangers or Captain Planet, which I did watch enough to get an idea about, Pokemon I made fun of because it was just everywhere. It was easy to spoof how strange it was, how overexposed it was, and of course, what an obvious marketing play it was. Gotta catch 'em all? Jesus, and I thought my generation was all about commercial tie-ins. But what am I supposed to do? I don't have time to watch the entire series, and even the first movie, it was hard for me to gather how this world worked. Well, as an olive branch, I'm gonna review the one movie you apparently don't need to know that much about Pokemon in order to follow, Detective Pikachu. Released in 2019, I'll be honest, I thought this was a joke when I first saw the trailer. I had no idea this was based on a game of the same title. I was waiting for Pikachu to explode in a puddle of blood, revealing a burnt Ryan Reynolds saying this was all just an ad for Deadpool 3. But nope, this was a real thing, and it got okay reviews from audiences and critics. As someone who's mocked this franchise but never really followed it, I figure this is the perfect one to look over and, I suppose, bury the Pokemon hatchet. So because my relationship with Pokemon fans is worth more than some stupid running gag, so we definitely don't want to do the joke anymore?
I don't think so.
I'm going to be fair and give Pokemon a chance. This is my take on Detective Pikachu. The film opens in a lab where a Pokemon, or pocket monster for you newbies, here's a complete list of those losers, is being experimented on. He's the most powerful Pokemon named Mewtwo. And I gotta give credit to any series that names their most powerful entity Mewtwo. It's kind of like calling Darth Vader Schnickerdoodle Shucks. It just makes me smile. He subtly escapes and hunts down a car driving off. Ooh, I hope crashing car becomes one of his moves on Smash Brothers. Cut to our main character named Tim, who's a young man trying to catch a Pokemon. He's played by Justice Smith. Must find a clip from a past performance to sum up my reaction. That'll do. Okay, despite him being annoying as in Fallen Kingdom, he's honestly totally fine here, as his best friend Jack is trying to find him the perfect Pokemon to bond with.
That is the perfect Pokemon for you. Jack, I'm not looking for a Pokemon. I've told you this.
I have my career to think about, and you know the is always awkward. He convinces Tim to try and catch him with a Pokeball, leading to a pretty funny line.
Catching a Pokemon is not about skill, so you can do this.
I'm realizing I hate you. And he tries to get close to him.
Not everyone can pull off wearing the skull of their dead relative.
Okay, this is a world I want to know more about. The Pokemon has to choose its owner as well, and this one clearly didn't like paper towns.
That was one angry Cubone. He reminded me a lot of my mom.
She wore the skull of my grandma on her head. It was a whole thing. Give props to a film enough to say staying at a secure insurance job makes you a loser, but taking off playing Pokemon with your friends is the ultimate sign of success. What am I saying? It kind of is.
Everyone we know has left town, and now I'm leaving too.
Gonna get a promotion real soon.
What's the promotion for an insurance appraiser? You're gonna make me throw up.
Next you'll be telling me you don't live with your mother complaining on forums why Star Trek was more destroyed than Star Wars. He gets a call, though, that there was an accident.
It's the Rhyme City Police Department.
I wonder what they wanted to tell me down at the police station. Oh God, Dad! Yes, it looks like it was his father who was killed in that car crash. But don't worry, this film knows how to balance tragedy and humor.
Argument, please do. Thank you. Thank you.
Is anyone missing a with a tongue? He's shown a video about the history of Pokemon and humans, and sue me, I think this is funny.
Early humans used to catch them and train them to use their unique powers for the common good.
Ironically, this was taken from a time when Pokemon were enslaved and the prophet Moses Mon said, "Let my Bulbasaurs go." But don't worry, they love living in a robot Santa's now.
One man changed all of this.
Company Man?
Howard Clifford.
I didn't know he was Company Man. He apparently created a city where people and Pokemon live side by side where they don't have to be captured.
The cure I was looking for was for me to evolve into a better version of myself. And I discovered how to do that through a partnership with Pokemon.
He did it. Yeah, tough mystery, right? It's kind of like figuring out who framed Roger Rabbit. It could be anyone! But much like that movie, the focus isn't really the mystery as much as the comedic setup and imagination of the world they create. And despite the effects not really being anything spectacular, I can't really say they're bad either. There's clearly effort put into the textures, movement, and personalities of these creatures. They just don't always look like they're really there. They don't look real, but they look good. Okay, I will love this movie to death if this is all a Paranoia Agent tie-in.
Hi, Tim.
He meets up with Lieutenant Yoshida, played by Ken Watanabe, because let's face it, he's the Asian Carl Urban of being in geek stuff, who gives condolences on losing his father.
If you were anything like your dad.
I'm not. I was just really raised by my grandmother. Do you have the spare keys for his apartment? I should go wrap things up there.
I'll just pick up my emotional baggage and head back to my apartment of issues.
This job, it demands a lot, but you are on his mind every day.
It was nice to meet you, Lieutenant.
You will believe people can actually act with a feisty pet toy looming in the background. This movie's weird. He goes to his father's apartment where he comes across a reporter named Lucy, played by Kathryn Newton.
I've been waiting to see who would open up that mailbox. You just walked into quite a story.
I have to admit I thought this was going to be another bland, tough woman with no personality, but they quickly established that's what she's trying to be and isn't especially good at it.
Stories like this spread fear, and they're afraid of fear. But I don't fear fear. I walk the walk and I talk the talk, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the honest scoop, and that's the hard truth.
In a Disney remake, that'd be seen as really good dialogue.
I work for the CNN blog, making Pokemon listicles all day, okay? Top 10 cutest Pokemon.
Yeah, my grandma loves those.
Yeah, newsflash, they're all cute.
Oh, I don't know, flatulence is a little off-putting. She smells a story, but Tim has no answers for her, so he goes up to the apartment where he finds a movie is left on.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny, but what about my money?
I wasn't particularly connecting this to the Home Alone universe, but to their credit, stranger things have happened in that franchise. He comes across Ivan Ooze's bowel movement, which gets exposed to some of the Pokemon outside, turning them into blood-hungry animals. But that doesn't distract him from the real discovery, a Pikachu, voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Stop talking! You're a hallucination!
You're a hallucination.
Clearly not with Deadpool's writers. I'll admit I was kinda hoping for more funny lines out of him, but truth be told, it is humorous seeing that cute little fuzzball have this voice.
Help! Help! Oh my god, help!
Again, I'd probably play him more in Smash Brothers if that was the voice he came with.
No one's coming! People are so insensitive!
The other Pokemon attack, though, and they flee for their lives. They eventually go back to normal, and Tim tries explaining to everyone what's going on. But nobody can understand Pikachu but him.
Excuse me, hi, sorry. You can hear him, right? You can hear him talking. It's that stuff that I put up my nose. Not like that.
Again, I have to give credit to a Pokemon movie that acknowledges cocaine exists.
Pat me or kiss me.
As well as that. Pikachu admits he was his father's Pokemon, but he has memory loss, so he can't remember that much.
Talking Pikachu with no memories who's addicted to caffeine.
I could stop whenever I want. Another round. Black as night, thank you, sweetie.
Okay, I'm sure whatever he said makes sense to Pokemon fans, but to me, that's just a hilarious sound. I can play that at the most random movie moments, and it would instantly make them better.
What are you?
I'm only you killed him. No. I am your...
I'm just decreeing that the new Kristen Shaw. Nothing can be too bad if that's in it. Pikachu doesn't think Tim's father is dead and asks him to help out, seeing how he's the only one who can understand it.
There's magic that brought us together, and that magic is called hope. Hope that Harry is still alive.
That way he can offer so many more years of neglecting you. Tim reluctantly agrees, and they search the apartment for clues.
Should we talk about the fact that your childhood bed is a Pikachu bed? I've never been so flattered and creeped out at the same time.
I find that hard to believe from Ryan Reynolds.
Look, what about this?
That's my mom. She passed away when I was 11.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
I didn't realize we were doing those kind of cliches. Do I sing you a song or wait for the Disney Channel logo to pop up in the corner? How does this work?
This is what a Frenchman would call caliente fiesta.
They discover the test tube that had the purple smoke and realize that must have set off the violent Pokemon. They try to visit Lucy to give her the story, but it looks like she's not being taken very seriously.
Find a source. Oh, and pro tip, a reasonable sense of fashion.
Off, everyone will be wearing the Cracker Jack.
I found something in Harry's desk.
No, not here.
He shows her his test tube in her office. Did not mean for that to come out that way. Leading to another great line.
This isn't an office, it's a coffin with pencils.
He's like Mushu, he's got his moments. It looks like she came across other test tubes, just like the one that he found, and she tells him they were found at the docks. Because any film with the word detective in the title always has to have docks. Hey, I'm not complaining, I love film noir tropes. I just wish this wasn't the femme fatale. They come across a suspect called Mr. Mime, and I don't know if I have a soft spot for mime hate or if this is legitimately funny, but this is the most hilarious scene in the movie.
He's barely moving.
Don't tell him that. He's on a bike. Come on, he thinks he's getting away. Look, quick. Stop. Oh, no.
I'm not sure why mime scenes are so funny in films and TV. Maybe because they're like Sean Penn or Kanye West, where you know they have legit talent, but they're so annoying you can't help but smile when something bad happens to them.
Oh, what's this? Oh, there's a door there. That's a joke.
In a great bit of writing, Tim forces him to reveal what he knows by pouring fake gasoline on him and lighting a fake match.
That went dark fast. I like this very much.
I like how it cuts away so we never know what happened after this imaginary fire was lit. I like to think he went insane and is still convinced he's burning even to this day, which is tricky because you have to put him in a mental institution and a burn ward. Like our videos? Subscribe to be notified about them. Want to actually be notified about them? Click on that bell as well. Also, don't forget to check us out on Twitch. Playing some games, telling some jokes, and overall having a good time. Hope to see you there. Tim and Pikachu make their way to a Pokemon cage fight. I'm not gonna lie, these things are pretty cool. And the owner says he'll give answers if Pikachu fights to get revenge for his previous loss. That's eerily similar to how someone actually playing Pokemon reacts. Tim helps him out, but the owner's gas accidentally fills the room, sending the Pokemon on a rampage. No, we have a dead mother and Zootopia's plot! There's only so much Disney we can lift here!
It comes from the doctor! That's all I know!
They get the answers they're looking for, but they also get arrested. I don't know why, but the acting gets really good whenever these two are in a scene together.
It's very difficult coping with loss. Denial can be a...
No, I'm not in denial! I'm right! I know it! He's out there!
To a point where you're kind of like, oh yeah, there's a SpongeBob rat in this.
I never wanted to show you this.
Tim sees footage of the car crash, convincing him that his father is dead, and he admits he wishes he made an attempt to see his father when he was alive.
Because I never gave him the chance.
Look, I may not have memories, but I know this much. It wasn't your fault.
Is an emotional speech by Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu moving or stupidly hilarious?
I'm sure that if your dad was here, he would hug you so hard, your bones would pop.
Yeah, okay, you're lucky you got good actors for this. Agent Smith Antha persuades them to visit Mr. Clifford, who admits the chemical called R is from his son, Roger.
I hired Harry to trace it to its source. Imagine my shock when the answer turned out to be my own son.
Yeah, that's right. Halfway through and we discovered who the bad guy is. There is only one movie dumb enough to be Snake Eyes, and it's Snake Eyes. I like Bill Nighy's performance in this because it looks like every second he's trying to explode out of his wheelchair and do Davy Jones, but he's barely holding it back.
Ever since my illness put me in this chair, Roger has taken over more and more of the company.
Do you fear Diglett? He tells him, though, that his father is alive and he recreated what happened to him via hologram. And I'll just say it, I think this whole movie was made just to hear a great actor dramatically say Mewtwo.
What is that?
Mewtwo.
That's as close to making that sound cool as I'm gonna get.
Created in a laboratory using DNA of the ancient Mew.
Don't push your luck, it only sounds sillier the more you say it. It looks like Mewtwo wiped Pikachu's memory and stole his father away. They have to figure out where he was taken, so they hit up Lucy, who once again isn't that great with the whole spy thing.
Just act casual.
There's nothing really casual about this. Sorry, that was my fault.
Ow! The spy who dumped me was more smooth than this! I don't know how I remember that movie either! She figures out where the secret lab is and they break into it. They discover Mewtwo's blood was used to make Chemical R, and Tim's father was part of capturing him.
This doesn't make any sense. Harry would have never been a part of this.
Want to believe that, kid? Neither of us can say for sure what Harry would or wouldn't do.
I mean, I didn't think the director of this could possibly do Shark Tale, but people surprise you!
Several Pokemon escape, but it looks like that's the least of their problems.
This is no cave.
At this point, how can you not believe in climate change?
I hate when Pokemon gets political. Through a very creative action sequence, they outrun a Pokemon whose whole entire body is a forest. Pikachu is injured, but Tim tries to encourage him to pull through.
I'm here, partner. I'm here.
You got my back.
Pikachu! Pikachu!
You know this is one of those scenes where the actor is thinking, please don't let this look stupid. This can so easily look stupid. Mewtwo appears though and heals him, revealing that Pikachu was on his side.
You've done well. Humanity's evil.
Mewtwo gets captured though, and Pikachu can't believe he was working with the enemy.
I'm the guy who betrayed Harry. I could betray you too.
You wouldn't do that. I don't care what I saw. I know who you are.
How do you know?
You're this series' cash cow. They're not gonna gamble on that. They just need a third act breakup.
Greninja abandons them, and Tim goes to talk to Howard during a Pokemon Pride Parade. I assume their flag is made entirely out of rainbow cards.
Roger must have sent the Greninjas to cause the crash.
Pikachu puts together that Mewtwo was trying to save him that night, and big shock, Howard was the man behind everything, transferring his consciousness into Mewtwo.
Well done, Tim. You and Harry's Pikachu led me straight to Mewtwo.
You know I can't get through a movie without being animated somehow!
Mewtwo has the power to transfer the soul of a human into the body of a Pokemon as long as the Pokemon are in a crazed state.
That's a very specific combination of things, but I am watching Foamy the Squirrel try to take over the world. I shouldn't be too picky. And because we haven't taken from enough movies yet.
The balloons. Our gas is in the balloons.
He's going to kill everybody!
The gas is released, and Howard, as Mewtwo, fuses the people and Pokemon together. Tim also finds out that Howard's son wasn't behind anything, as his Pokemon is a shapeshifter. That's okay, I didn't need any sleep tonight. I know people can merge with Pokemon, but I didn't know they can merge with James and the Giant Peach.
Let's do this!
Pikachu arrives, though, using his powers to stop him. They get the mind control thing from X2 off Howard's head, and Mewtwo is back to normal, returning everyone back to their original forms.
Are you okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I pushed you away just when you needed me the most.
That's totally not gonna be a metaphor in a minute.
Yeah, as much as I mock what an obvious mystery this is, I'll admit I didn't put together the big twist at the end. Pikachu is actually Tim's father, fused by Mewtwo. Yeah, I know it was obvious, but I don't watch the show. Blow me.
You've done well. Humanity's
is evil, but you have shown me that not all humans are bad.
So humanity is not evil. This was a strangely worded sentence that hopefully will not be cut off, as it would totally give the wrong impression to any onlookers.
Hey, kid.
So Tim is reunited with his father, who was the Green Lantern all along!
I think I'll have to find a new job. Maybe I could give detective work a try?
Oh Christ, there's no money in that. Why don't you be an insurance appraiser or something? And that was Detective Pikachu. It's not my thing, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Yes, it's formulaic and could be funnier, but it's also imaginative, has its heart in the right place, and at times can be pretty fun. Even though I didn't grow up with Pokemon, I can tell there's little touches all throughout this film that people who did grow up with it would recognize and appreciate. For me, it's like watching Roger Rabbit if you never grew up with cartoons. You could follow it okay, and it'd be fine, but you wouldn't have nearly as strong a connection with it as people who did grow up with cartoons. So I guess I'd say if you didn't grow up with Pokemon, it has enough to probably keep you interested, but if you did grow up with Pokemon, you'll most likely enjoy it a lot more. So there, I finally gave a Pokemon property a fair shot and found myself actually enjoying it in several parts. Is it for me? Not really, but I can see how others could get sucked into the variety and adrenaline it offers. So, if you like Pokemon but haven't seen this movie, check it out. I think you'll have a pretty good time. I mean, at least it's a lot better than Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones sucks! La la la!
That one did it to itself.
I know. Were you standing there the whole time? Hey, Doug Walker here, doing the charity shout out. Once again, doing a charity that ties into battling COVID-19. And this week we are doing, I hope I'm saying it right, SEWA International, SEWA. And to know more about them, they have been running COVID-19 helplines in the United States since late February. They're supported by a large group of committed volunteers. SEWA has assembled more than 3,000 volunteers in 43 chapters in a month, and helping close the gap on many critical needs such as the crippling shortage of masks, personal protective equipment, sanitizers, as well as providing meals and groceries to the needy. They've distributed more than 625,000 masks, 63,000 hot meals, and food kits, donated more than $100,000 to food pantries, and engaged and coordinated the work of more than 200 professionals. As you can see, they are really going above and beyond, and Buster wants to say how much you should take a look at them too. All right, back down, buddy. So you can see that they've done just a lot of great work, and they're even doing a lot of great work before COVID-19. So please check them out. You got, Buster, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna have him up here because he's chewing at the tripod. So listen to Buster. Go look at SEWA International. And definitely check them out. They do a lot of great work. So and if not, please share the link or even volunteer. They have, as you saw, tons and tons of volunteers. So definitely check them out. Thank you so much.